Hey guys, Tisha here, and we are back for another Sister Wives rewatch. This time it's season 2, episode 2. After going public and finding out that their family is being investigated, the Browns have decided to go to Cody's parents' house in Wyoming to get away for a little bit. They're going to paint, play around, and help get cattle vaccinated. Everyone is going on the first day for this trip with the exception of Janelle, Hunter, and Cody because Janelle has to work. I guess Cody decided just to ride with Janelle since it's a long drive, and Hunter has football practice. Mary and Christine are talking about packing, and we see that Mary overpacks. I understand Mary because I'm an overpacker too, like to the extreme, where Mary said like 3 different outfit changes and all that other stuff. I'm guilty because you never know what may happen or what may come up. Like, I like to plan things, but let's be clear, life happens, so you just don't know. As they're talking about their different kids and, you know, what their experiences with the ranch, I couldn't help but noticing that all I kept hearing was, my kid's this, my kid's that, my kid's this, my kid's that. You guys say that one of the main things that you love about being polygamous is the concept of family, but it seems like this particular family has created their own separation because it's Robin kids and Janelle's kids and Christine's kid and Mary's child. Why not just call them by their name or say our kids? Because by saying this particular person's kids, you're creating division. I can only use myself as an example of this. My sister and I do not have the same mother. When being introduced, never does my bonus mom say my dad's daughter. She says our daughters. I'm always included. Our grandson when talking about my child. Like, it's never his. And I feel like they've done such a bad job because they've created this unnecessary division. We hear that every summer Logan and Hunter go to the ranch, that this is going to be Robin's first time at the ranch with their kids. They say that they've tried hard to shelter the kids from the investigation and they're wearing the weight of it, and that the kids, even though they're not being exposed to all of it, that they're feeling some of it because their parents, you know, are concerned. And they feel like this 8-hour trip will be a good way for them to, you know, get away and kind of reset. 8 hours in a vehicle with that many children, I'd pass. Robin is driving one vehicle, Mary's driving another, and Christine is driving another. I noticed right away that rather than McKelty being in her mother's vehicle, that she's in Robin's vehicle. I'm telling you guys, I feel that the teenage girls, thought that Robin was cool. Maybe she could have related to them more, because even Mary's child had said in one of the episodes, like, she could be our sister. So they related to her on that level. And as a result, I just see them gravitating towards her. And maybe because at times Christine and McKelty had issues, Robin was able to connect with McKelty in a way that I can't understand. Like, McKelty got on my nerves in this episode, if I'm being honest. It reminds me of why I don't care for her as an adult. But I don't feel great saying about that because she's a child here. But as her being an adult, I don't feel bad saying it now that she's an adult. On the way there, the truck that Robin is driving, it starts smoking, and Logan lets us know that it's leaking radiator fluid and maybe some oil. So no one checked the vehicles before leaving. You guys knew that you had this really, really long drive, and no offense, but Cody was talking about he loving the click, click sound of a vehicle while Robin was driving. So that just makes me feel like the vehicles aren't properly maintained, especially, didn't they have issues with their tires or something when they went to Vegas. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they take care of their vehicles. They weren't far away from home. They were only 1 hour away from home. And they ended up waiting for 3 hours just to not even have the vehicle fixed. It ended up getting towed. They got a rental van. They should have gotten the rental van in the first place. We then see Cody go to the place that it got towed to, and we find out that it is the motor that is shot, and he's recommending that they change the radiator soon. And the cost of that is $5,163.69. Man, oh man, do I know the feeling of having a vehicle that is paid off and then requires a repair that you may feel like it's not worth paying. Cody says that he's not going to pay it right now because they need to have a discussion as a family to see if they need to move some money around or have a talk about purchasing a new vehicle or something along those lines before he determines whether or not they'd be willing to get it fixed. We then see the family, and it is the next day because they decided, rather than driving back home after only being in the car for an hour, that they would spend money on a hotel and stay there and then get back on the road. They pull over to take a picture. Robin says, put a Y in the air for Wyoming. And Mary points out that it starts with a W, not a Y. She definitely could not have been the homeschool teacher. So I understand now why Robin never became that and why she sent her kids to school. We hear more about Cody's dad's ranch. We find out that Cody's mom is the one who introduced polygamy to the family because she always had a desire to be a polygamist, and as a result brought Cody to the faith and the dad to the faith. I don't understand how many versions of this story that we're going to hear because I keep getting confused as to what brought him to polygamy, because I thought at one point he said it was Mary and her dad. So which is it? According to Mary, Cody, and Janelle, a lot of times the first wife is what pushes the idea of the family because she tends to be the one that brings the wife in. We see that even though most of the family left Wednesday night, that they did not arrive until Saturday morning. So it took 3 days for them to get to what should have been an 8-hour drive because of all the stops they made. That would never be me. I used to drive back and forth all the time to New York, where a good portion of my family is. We're all over the world, literally. So we'll say a good portion of my family is. And one of the things that my son knew at a very early age was, don't drink a whole bunch of juice because I'm not doing a whole bunch of stopping. I'm going to stop one time. It's going to be for bathroom, food, and gas, and then I'm not going to stop again. If you have to go to the bathroom, I have a nice handy dandy bottle. Not this bottle, but I have a nice handy dandy bottle that you're more than welcome to use the facilities in, because all that stopping, 8 hours taking 3 days, that's ridiculous. Cody and Janelle left a day after them, and they got there an hour after them. So that shows you just how long it took for them to get there. I don't really feel like that makes sense when they said that a day after. How were they? They said 3 days. Oh, I guess they're counting Thursday as a day. Okay, whatever. They left a day after. They got there an hour later than them. So they all could have left at the same time for all of that. But they wouldn't have arrived at the same time because Cody and them just had one child. So they probably didn't make all those stops. All the kids arrive. They're excited to see their grandma and grandpa. And this is when we find out that Janelle's mom is married to Cody's dad. The family gets to painting, and it's driving me nuts because paint is all over the kids instead of the house. Janelle's mom talks about how she was excited to see Robin come into the family and that there is a shakeup that happens. But once the dust settles, it's just adding strength to the family. I don't quite understand what Robin added to the family. I'm not trying to be funny because I see that she's taken more from the family than she's added. Mary was the one who brought the wives in. At one point, she was working and she brought polygamy. We'll say that. Janelle brought her money and she gave Cody a lot of kids. Christine had the status because her family holds some type of high rank in the polygamous church. And she brought her cooking abilities. She brought her at-home mom role, and she was a homeschool teacher. So she brought stuff. What did Robin bring? This is part of the problem. If Janelle's mom is saying that it's supposed to add to the family, all she did was add 4 more mouths to feed. We find out that Janelle's mom married Cody's dad a few months before him and Janelle got married. As they were saying it, I was like, what is wrong with these people? They're not related, but to me, it is weird. Cody's mom had a hard time adjusting to the marriage, even though it's what she wanted. So, Cody, even though you sat there on your anniversary dinner saying to Mary that you can't understand why she's jealous and envious and all these things, your mother is sitting here telling us that she had a problem adjusting to it as well, and she was jealous and all these things, even though she wanted it. So maybe you should have a talk with your mom, because your mom can very much so relate to your wife, Mary, your first wife, Mary. I don't understand this religion, because this religion requires the women to sacrifice a lot, and I don't feel like the men have to sacrifice as much. But, you know, just my opinion. We find out that over time, Cody's mother and Janelle's mom ended up becoming best friends. And you can tell that they love one another. It's just obvious with their interaction. But later on in the episode, one of the things that brought them closer together was when Janelle's mother retired from her job, because they had more time. So they were able to, you know, relate to each other more in different ways. We meet Tim, who is Cody's uncle, and he's there to get the kids started on corralling the cows for their vaccination. This is Christine's first time seeing Hunter and Maddie and Logan riding, and she says it's so nice to see. They look very comfortable. Janelle's mom's house and Cody's mom's house are about a half a mile apart from each other, so you can see it. It's very different. What am I saying here? Oh, Janelle says that she loves the relationship between her mom and Cody's mom, that they're really good sister wives, and it reminds her a lot of the relationship that she has with her sister wives. This is a part of how they were trying to fool us, because we're hearing this right now, but now presently in season 18, we know that they struggled a lot, and this was not their dynamic or their relationship. We can say now that Christine and Janelle are a lot like how Cody's mom and Janelle's mom are, but it doesn't seem that it was like that way with all the sister wives. So the kids were told not to ride this particular horse, and McKelty decided to take it upon herself to ride the horse, even though Janelle, Cody, and others told her do not ride it, and she got bucked off. She's crying. She's yelling. She's telling Cody don't touch her, but she's jerking her back, so it's obviously not broken. When I saw her laying there, I couldn't help but think, I bet she'll listen next time. Because you were told by multiple people not to play, not to get on this horse, and you insisted to do it anyways. You cannot play around farm equipment. You cannot play with animals. But you had to learn the hard way. And as a result, not only were you injured, but I'm sure you cost your parents some money, and people were worried about you, and it could have been avoided. Janelle's mom takes a look at her, because we know she's a nurse, and she says that she doesn't see that anything is broken, but she thinks that she needs an alignment. They took her to the chiropractor. We hear again about Janelle saying and Maddie saying that they told her. Janelle says it's unfortunate, but as I said earlier, I don't feel bad for her. We see Hunter and Logan helping with the cows, getting the vaccinations and sticking them with the tag to mark that they've been vaccinated. Janelle's mom arrives with the food and is trying to explain how it's going to go and what they have to eat, and that the workers go first, and the kids are not being quiet. They keep talking. They're not listening. Robin's kids are coming to the front. Robin's telling them, hold up, pull back, and she has to kind of make a noise to get them to stop. These kids do not listen. And for there to be so many of them not listening, it just would not work for me. We find out, because McKelty arrives back, we find out that her hip popped out of place and they popped it back in. She says again how she was told not to do it, but she just had to prove Maddie wrong. It's now day 2 at the ranch. Cody's mom is talking about how excited she is to have her grandkids. Cody's mom is a very nice lady, and I don't understand how Cody has turned out the way that he is, because she seems to be very loving and very concerned and very excited that her family is around. She said that when they talked about being polygamous, one of the things that Christine said was that she didn't want her kids to have to hide who their father was. So Cody decided to come out of hiding. I don't really feel like we'll ever know the true reason that the family wanted to come out of hiding, because we keep getting told different things as to why they decided to become polygamous. Maybe it's all of those things that we heard, but it's so many different things that I just don't know what to believe. Cody's mom said that they wanted to be honest with the world, and that them hiding makes it a lie. They weren't really honest all the way with us, but I get what Cody's mom is saying. We see that while the paint is drying, that the kids are taken to a rock and they're climbing. And all you hear is Robin yelling, Brianna, stop. Brianna, sit down. Aurora, wait. Cody's like, they're fine. Let them be. And she's like, they can fall. They can fall. They're on a cliff. Hearing her be frantic the way she was reminded me of how she was when they all went on that picnic at out Coyote Pass, and the kids were supposed to stay 6 feet away, and Saul and Ari were trying to play with Trudy, and they weren't 6 feet away at one point, and she got upset. Robin gets very flustered, and early on she causes a lot of, unnecessary, like, why are you so, you're the reason why your kids are the way they are. She says that she's always refereeing. Christine's like, I stay calm. Basically like, I don't know why you're doing all that. They're kids. They're going to hurt themselves. They'll be okay. Janelle said that they're not putting them in harm's way, and that it's important for them to explore and to build a certain type of confidence that comes with them exploring and seeing the different things that their bodies can do. To this day, I believe that Robin has hindered her kids from experiencing what they really could do, which is what Janelle was saying is the importance of exploring. Robin's kids are scared. They all have anxiety. Like, Brianna has really, really, really bad anxiety, and they coddle her with it. And I feel like because Robin is always on edge, she's made her kids on edge. I don't know. There's some things that, of course, are missing there because we haven't seen everything, but I think that Robin has caused her kids to be fearful. They go back, they finish the last of the painting. The two moms arrive, they look at the house. Cody's mom loves it so much that she is crying. I think this was a cute episode. Didn't really do much for me. Just let us see a little bit more of the dynamic with Cody and find out a little bit more of his backstory. His father, I can't remember if he's passed. I think he did pass, yeah, because it was just the two moms. And now we know that Janelle's mom has passed. I can't remember what happened. It's funny how just a lot of things I don't recall, but I remember the crazy stuff that went down, like the catfish. But that's all I have for this episode. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. You guys, I'll be honest. Well, I'm always honest. I don't know why I say that a lot, but I think that for the next season, I may combine some of these episodes because a lot of this stuff isn't really important. But I'm going to finish out season 2 doing episode by episode. And then from there, I might combine it a little bit. You just let me know what you think. I know when we get further along to where the seasons are longer and there's more, that I probably will stick to the one because there's a lot more to unpack. But right now, I feel like some of these are like getting to know you filler episodes. But we'll see. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm almost at 200 subscribers, which is great. I thank each and every one of you for watching. I thank you for your thumbs up. I thank you for your comments. I read them and I try to answer them when I see them because you don't have to do it. So thanks so much. And until next time.